How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Fourever Arsenal podcast and welcome back to the live version of the Fourever Arsenal podcast. It's been a little while, people. Obviously, we didn't do no live during the summer and we did go to once a week every week, but we're back to, before and after every game. We're here, people. We're here to talk. So hit the like button. I see a lot of you waiting already. Make sure you do that first and foremost. Show the video some love. As usual, let's get it to 1,000 likes if possible, real early. And welcome back, the gang. Well, I say welcome back. We had a podcast a few days ago. It's out. If you haven't watched it, you might as well go watch it after this. But welcome back, Jordan, James, Lee. Jordan in particular, because I don't see you as much as I see James and Lee. But
yeah. I'm here, brother. I'm here, man. I'm here and I'm ready. I'm ready for the new season. I don't know if the club, but we'll get to that. But I'm here, man. Let's do this.
I don't know if your camera's ready either, but
I was gonna say this internet.
No, I don't know what's going on.
No, you're good now. You're good now. You're good.
Amateur.
Okay.
I thought we left this in last season.
You know what it is? I'm such an amateur. I had the same stream on simultaneously, so I could view the comments whilst watching you guys. Then I realized I can just put the comments on the current stream, so I just turned off the other one. That's one. Anyway, yeah. Nice. I'm not good with tech. I'm not good with tech.
I know how to work that out. Gee,
imagine demanding upgrades from Arsenal. And he's not upgraded his setup in 4 years. It's extraordinary.
Love me, man. Love me. So good.
Are you playing that? But yeah, we moved. Lee, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much.
Actually, weekend. I don't know if I should ask how people are because I saw the top comment. Well, one of the top comments in the last show being, we shouldn't, we should skip all the banter and all that. This is a football discussion. And,
yeah, a lot of the people
I saw the opposite.
Yeah,
I saw people saying they're for 7 minutes.
What do we think? Let's actually have a public live team meeting here about this.
Oh.
What do we think? Are they right? Should we be going into the football stuff a bit quicker? Maybe no one cares about us as much as we think.
Well, it was my comment of the day, actually. But yeah, that's that. We could be getting to that later. But yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I think part of making a podcast is the chemistry, putting the right people together. And if you've got good chemistry, then naturally, it's not like we plan. And I say to you, lot, today we're going to have about 7.5 minutes of banter before I move it on, or 12.5. It just naturally flows. And, that's how the podcast has been built. So why change a winning formula? People will say, well, to elevate. Yeah, we hope to elevate. But, it's just a natural discussion between four friends. What can we do?
I think the banter is necessary. I think that's part of the, the way we are, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, what's the point? Otherwise, you might as well just have throw chemistry out the window if you just want.
Yeah. Who cares what the comments got to say anyway?
I was going to say, Sodom. I care about you three. So when I ask how you lot are doing,
exactly. That's it. They've got a fast forward button, and they can forward like that. I mean, Sodom.
Cool. I just want to know you are happy with that because I don't mind. I'm good. I like talking. We can talk about everything. Why not? Look, Lee's drinking. What are you having there?
I've got a nice Stella.
Oh, nice. Enjoy. Celebrating or?
No, I'll tell you what. I played football today. I lost about £18 running around, so I thought I'd put a couple on, like, you know what I mean? So,
why not?
Yeah. Got a lot in my head as well, like, you know what I mean?
James, you just
go on, Turkish.
I was gonna say you've just been live, no, on your channel.
I was. That's all about Eddie Nketiah stuff, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't normally say this too often, but I do often get things off my chest on the Gooniverse, so go subscribe if you're interested in that kind of thing. But yeah, like Eddie Nketiah to Marseille's off. They've gone for El Yawahi. I find it interesting how Arsenal should retain the value of their players no matter what. And ultimately, they went and spent what we wanted Freddie on El Yawahi, which probably tells us how rated he was to Marseille. Is that harsh? Am I being harsh? Like, look, I don't know. We can go into it in big detail. Well, look, I keep saying it because I really want this point to get across to everyone. I am going to wait. There's 3 more weeks of the window. I'm going to be. I don't know what he's doing. You're right there, Jordan.
You're right.
Oh, sorry. I was getting my light. Sorry. Go on. Sorry. I did mute though. I muted it this time.
No. Yeah.
Shaking around.
Fair enough. I go. There's 3 weeks left of the window. I will continue to comment on everything with fair neutrality. I've tried to make that sound clever. Then I don't know if that actually makes any sense.
But you're nervous.
But by the deadline, we'll see. Oh yeah, I'm getting a little bit. Ooh, what's that meme? Getting a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
Like it's all a little bit like, okay, 3 weeks to go, and we've not done anywhere near enough. I'll remain calm for now.
Well, we've somehow just gone straight into the football team. So hopefully you're enjoying people. Eddie's the first thing on the way. You didn't mute that bit, Jordan, did you?
I didn't need that bit.
No worries.
What?
No, you good?
You okay?
Is it my internet? Is my internet doing a mad thing? Sorry, man.
No, your internet's actually fine.
It's everything else. You could.
Stop touching that thing there, though, please.
Sorry, there we go. We're good. Sorry.
Should you sorted that out before we come live? We went live.
Sorry,
I'm just asking for a friend.
Sorry.
Watch, top comment of this show is going to be, well, Jordan needs to fix his setup before the show starts. Like, I don't understand.
Jordan out. Jordan's got to go. Replace Jordan. Was it? You know we're live. You donut. Was it's like? Give me a break.
Well, we've kind of gone straight into. I was going to ask. The first question on the agenda was how everyone's feeling ahead of the new season. But considering the news today, which, listen, it's not the most damning news that you're going to hear, but it is kind of a blow when you consider how late we've left it, the interest in Eddie Nketiah, and now the lack of it. So I guess that's on the tip of everyone's tongues and in everyone's minds at the moment when we're thinking about the new season, because I think, but really, I think there's a bigger issue on hand, because it shouldn't, the reason an Eddie sale is kind of causing this much noise, or the lack of a sale is causing this much noise, is because we have been slow, and we have also indicated that we know the areas listen. If the Sesko interest is true, we know we need a striker. But nothing's been done about it since. Now, the Eddie stuff on the way out, we can't keep him after essentially offering him out and trying to bargain, saying, all right, don't give us the money now, give us the money next year. And they still said no. We can't keep a player like that. There's no point, because they've already dealt their hand, in my opinion, to fans like me. But then others will say still a good player, still depth-wise. Jordan might say that, to be honest. But it's kind of setting the tone. And I mentioned on a recent Fourever, actually, was it a Fourever? It might have been a supporter. Setting tone is important, I think, in a summer transfer window, especially when you're trying to go for a league title. I think it's very important. And I think the lack of Man City's transfer dealings or improvements made shouldn't be a cushion for us to lean back on because we haven't done our business. It should have been, look at what we've done and they've done nothing. We're going to win this league. That's how I expect it to be feeling on the Monday coming up to game week 1. But unfortunately, I'm not. I'm excited for the season, though. I'm excited for the season. I expect to beat Wolves, and we're going to talk about all of that. But in terms of being ready for the season on the pitch, we look ready in terms of fitness, sharpness. But personnel-wise, off the pitch, I don't think we've done quite enough. I've set the tone for the podcast now.
You haven't. I think, there's plenty of time yet. I understand all the negative stuff about the transfer window, but I'm still optimistic that things will be done. I still say Eddie will probably be gone at the end of this window. I think, there's still lots of things to happen yet, and like the old snowball effect might come into play. Liverpool haven't really done anything yet, and you would be looking at them and going that the need is more stronger for Liverpool than us. I think also you have to get into the context of it all, like, is that other teams are desperate to get players in and whatever, like Man United, Chelsea or whatever. We're at a stage where it's just one or two. It's one or two. And it's also got to be one or two guys that are going to make a difference. Not one or two are just going to keep everybody happy. I'm a big believer in that. Like, I'm prepared to wait, be patient, and hopefully get the players over the line. If we'd be really realistic about it, if you'd have said at the end of last season, do you think Ramsdale would be gone by now? You'd say yes.
Eddie, yes. Reece, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look how quick it went. Neto went within seconds. I was thinking he'd be playing against us. Gone. The Solanke one went very, very quick. And I think that's how it'll be like. I think that there's a little bit of caution in it. But I don't know about you guys. I've seen people in the chat already saying, "Oh, we do rubbish and everything like that." Let's be realistic about it. At the moment, he's built. If you're going to criticise him or not criticise him, we are in with a chance of winning the title. We're going for the title now. So he has done some good things. So for me, let's just be patient. Let's don't lose. I think I've seen loads of people online and on social media losing it over Eddie, losing it because we ain't signed this and we ain't signed that. I think there's 3 weeks left of this transfer window. I know the season's starting, but we're not in a position where we're desperate for players. If you look at the back end of last season, we was fantastic. So we haven't really got to change too much. If I'll be really honest, what we're looking at is to strengthen the squad for the more games that we're playing, you know. And I think that's where we are at the moment, guys. I don't think it should be all doom and gloom.
No. The thing is, it's not doom and gloom. Do you know what it is for me, Lee? Far too often, yeah. You know, we live through it. We all live through this era here. Sometimes I talk about back in the day era, but we've all lived through this era where how many times were we 2 pieces short of a complete puzzle? And we sometimes we enter the season 3 pieces short for some reason, or would buy the 2 necessary pieces and lose another 3 by the end of it, or by this time round. And as much as Arteta's he's built this inside out. He's built this. You know, as much as I love a lot of the players now, I'll always put it down to Arteta what he's done, and you know, it's well documented my turnaround and how I feel about him. But Edu the same. Edu's facilitated some quality deals for us over time. He's also cast doubt over time. But this season now, Lee, you know what you said? We're in with a chance to win the league. We are 100%, and we can win it. We can do absolutely nothing in the next 3 weeks and potentially win this league, yes. But I didn't want to be feeling like we've got a chance to. I wanted to feel like we're going to. And that doesn't mean we were going to, but there's a feeling of last season we've done enough in the window to say we're definitely doing better than the season before, even though the season before was our best season in years, even though we pushed Man City to the last five game weeks, we were still confident enough going into the next season that we all said we need to take it to game week 38, 37 at the very least if we don't win it. That was our standards based off of the transfer window. So now we're having a transfer window like we're having now. It's like, yes, we can still win the league, but if we don't, is it another case of we should have done what we needed to do in the summer? And I'm tired of feeling like we should have done what we needed to do in the summer, or we should have done what we needed to do in January. When will they just finish off? Because Kroenke's included. The turnaround gives them credit too. But I won't shout like I do about Arteta now, because for them to receive that, we need to start winning stuff again, because it is ultimately on them. So when I ask where's the money, I'm not some entitled, whatever. We've gone through the mud for these owners who have promised us, be excited. 5 years now. All right, we are excited, but they could have done more to push this, But hey, anytime I talk, I feel negative. But people need to understand, I still feel optimistic that we can win the league. If you ask me my prediction right now, actually, we're going to go into predictions later. But I think we're going to fall just short based off of what we haven't done rather than what we've done.
Turkish, this is a massive point, right? I think it's been said before, but I actually think jumping from 6th to 4th, or even 6th to 3rd, maybe 6th to 2nd, is maybe easier than jumping from 2nd to 1st. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, we are so close, but it's so hard to make up that little bit extra that is going to beat Man City and get you over the line. So I'm with you. Like, I'm also optimistic about the season. I know we have a very good team. I love this group. We've just been brilliant in the last 2 Emirates games. Lyon wasn't quite as good as the Leverkusen game, but preseason's been good. We look fit. We look sharp. There's so much I feel positive about with this team. Park that aside for 1 second, and I still think we need something new in attack. I still think central midfield needs some completing. And that, whether it's either raising the floor so the squad all benefit, or you raise the ceiling and you get a proper superstar who makes a real difference to the starting 11. I think we needed to have considerably taken strides in one of those areas to beat Man City. So it's not that I'm suddenly like, oh no, we've got a terrible team, I'm not excited for the season, we haven't sold Eddie, we haven't announced Marino, we haven't got forward, life's terrible. It's not that at all. I feel great about the team, but I just, like, we're talking about beating Man City. Like, we've seen the standards they have set. When did they ever stop? When did they take a summer off? I'm going to go through their transfer windows now while I think Jordan's going to come in. But they don't take a summer off as far as I'm aware. And let's be really honest, only signing Calafiori would be a little bit of a summer off, really, in terms of making the strides we want to make in the transfer window, don't we think?
No, listen, listen, I'm gonna if that's all we sign, the only player we sign, I'm going to be disappointed, very, very disappointed. And quite rightly so, because I know then we've not done enough, especially with the more games coming up. We haven't done enough. We need to. I think you're right, Turkish. It is like the jigsaw is nearly complete, and we're so close, and. Sometimes chucking money ain't the answer. We know that, but when you look at it, I think, in my personal opinion, we're a forward short and a midfield player, because we know what's going to go on with Partey. We know Partey. I've said on my channel today that if Partey plays 40 games this season, I'll run round naked. I know he's not going to do that, you know what I mean? I just know that, you just know. Nice, what I mean? Like, if I'd have said 20, I think I was pushing it. You just know that he's not going to do that. But like Partey, Odegaard, Rice, that's a midfield. That's a title-winning midfield every game of the season, But you know that it's not going to play every single game. That's what we're saying here. So where is the midfield backup? You're going to say it's going to be Kai Havertz coming in there. I don't think that's the right move. So where is that midfield player coming in? Now you've had all of the summer to sort that out. The striking situation, they probably went for Sesko. It looked like they did. Are they going to say, all right, we're not going to get in, we'll keep our powder dry? I don't know. But like, when I look at it, well, all right, okay, if that's the one you want, go and get Tony for a year. You've done it with Ramsdale. You've signed him on a new contract and then brought in another goalkeeper. Be ruthless in that situation as well. Go and buy a striker for a year. And then if the right one comes, you move them on, I don't know. But I think at the end of the day, look, all of us, if the transfer window closes in 3 weeks' time and we're at the same position we are now, we haven't sold no one and only one signing in, I think all four of us could agree we're not going to be happy about it.
I just had a look at City signings, right? They obviously were Centurions, and all they added was Riyad Mahrez, but all they added, £60 million Riyad Mahrez. They had the most frightening attack in the league, scoring bundles of goals, and they still went and added something to it. The year after, Rodri and Cancelo, Angelino. The year after that, Diaz, Ake, Ferran Torres. The year after that, Grealish and Alvarez. Again, only two signings, but Grealish was a £100 million player. We know Julian Alvarez was important. That's two forwards they added. The year after that, Haaland, Phillips, Akanji. By the way, that Alvarez deal, I don't think he actually came until the season after. So only Grealish, but fine, £100 million player. The season after that, Gvardiol, Nunes, Doku, Kovacic. They won the treble and outspent us. So again, my point isn't we have to sign a bunch of £100 million players. My point isn't we don't do business. We're incapable of competing. My point is that we keep saying we want to compete with Man City, and City have never stood still. And as much as I rate Calafiori, only signing Calafiori would be sitting still, in my opinion. But I will wait to hope that something happens.
Exactly right. It's not the 31st of August. If this was the 31st, this is when you should be talking about this. 31st of August.
Arteta said that as well, though. Arteta said you can't sit still. I remember, I think he said it in his first January here or second January. He said, when you're trying to catch and competing with City, Liverpool, except you can't skip a beat. So I'm with you. Calafiori would be skipping a beat because yes, listen, he looks a quality player. from what I know, which is very little, but it just doesn't come with that feeling. Jordan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, man. I think the deflation of the back of the Eddie news is kind of you've all made the point about the preseason being good, but we don't feel like we've kicked on enough. And I think that feeling is also because the last two summers we have. The last two summers, I think we've both gone into those seasons thinking, yes, all right, could have done with one more player, but we've all gone into the season feeling like we are better significantly than the season before. Complete, maybe not. Last year, we all wanted a proper 8. We didn't get it, but we were definitely better than the season before. And it just feels to me like we've reverted into, I've said it the other day, that we are competing with City. I'm not convinced we are. I don't think we're scaring City. I don't think we've done enough to really make them take notice and take us as like contenders, yes, but they're not looking at Arsenal thinking, oh, wow, we're going to have to really go some to hold on to our title. Look, I agree with Lee. I think Eddie will still go come the end of the window because I think there's enough teams that need a forward of his level that I think he'll be moved on. Look, the club want 30 mil. Olympic was it Marseille was saying, nah, we're not quite sure he's in that bracket. I was chatting to a friend of mine on WhatsApp earlier today, and we were disagreeing initially about whether Eddie is. I felt he is worth 30 mil, and Arsenal should hold out for 30 mil. And he was saying he's not, bro. He's not worth 30 mil. And the more I think about it, and I'm one of the harshest people when it comes to price tags, the more I think about it, maybe he is a 20 mil striker. Maybe Arsenal are trying to get too much. But I think the other point he made, which I did agree with, was we're traditionally not really good buyers and sellers. Can you think of many players that we've bought or sold in the last 5 years where you think, yeah, we've done really well there with what we've got for that player, or we've signed a player for their market value or under? Smith Rowe's the only person
Not,
think of
not the
that.
5 years. That goes
Balogun a year ago was a good sale. 37 million.
All right, okay, Balogun, yeah.
34 million for Smith Rowe. Like their deals I'm happy with.
Decent.
Willock 3-4 years ago. Like there's been the odd one in there, but I'm with you. Like we are not great sellers.
Yeah, and I think we need to address that. But I mean, I'm ready for the season. But if you ask me now, and we're going to get into it, I'm sure at some point, do I feel like we're the team to beat? No, I don't think we've done enough to make ourselves the team to beat at the moment.
All right, let's round off this mini segment then with a question to all. Off the back of James, I think last show, James, you said a 3 out of 10 window? Well,
no, I said it on the watch along, and AFTV posted on socials. A lot of people disagreed, but then in the wake of some not as positive news, everyone's going, "It's a terrible window." I'm like, well, I was trying to say it. But go on. What was your question?
As we stand now, and we'll review this. Listen, we're going to be here consistently, people. If you don't know, then we're here every week. So we will review it come 1st of September, when hopefully some more deals are done and more outgoings are complete. As we go into Wolves on Saturday, James, rating out of 10 for the window.
Because I know people don't know how to separate the two things. Let me say, I think we are ready for the season. We're in great shape, and the team look brilliant. Put that aside. 3 out of 10. If as things stand, with what's been done, that's how I feel about it. You add Marino, you sell Eddie or Reece, and you bring in a forward, it skyrockets to 7s, 8s, and 9s. But that's just where we are at the moment. But I'm confident it won't end as a 3 out of 10. Personally, I think it will end more positively.
3 out of 10 with the caveat, but I get why you have to include that, because like you said, people can't separate. Because I'm exactly the same. I think we can win the league. I think it's going to be close again. But transfer window wise, Lee, rating
2. Listen, taking away. Let's take away. It's nothing to do with what we're doing as a team and everything like that. That's a completely separate thing. And what do I think of the team? I think it's title-winning team. Right, you know what I mean? And I do think that. Do I think it's a title-winning squad? No, needs to be addressed. You know what I mean? We've sold a midfield player in Smith Rowe, not replaced. You could turn around and say that 1 year is going to be that, fine. But that's not a transfer. I'm looking at a transfer window. I want to go into a transfer window thinking, yes, we're really ready for it at this moment.
Last season.
Yeah, and I was excited about last season, like
Yeah.
you know. But we bought a central defender hashtag left back or whatever. I don't really know too much about him. James does. If I look at it and I go, before this window started, what's the one thing we don't need to strengthen is our defence. It's solid. We've got good defenders. I admit though that Tommy Asu's got injured, so we don't know what's going on there. I think that's a lot worse than what they're making out. I get that. But the two areas that we needed to upgrade on to push us to the title or get us over the edge for the title. There's a difference between pushing, just get us over the edge to say that we're the favourites now, right? And that, to me, was two signings, a midfield player and a fifth. Now, if we had made the signings and all the bookies are turning around and saying Arsenal are the favourites, it's an 8 or 9 out of 10 because that was what this transfer window was about.
Yeah.
To get us over the line past Manchester City. Not done it. Not done it. A left back that's not fit and not even in the start, who's not going to start on Saturday at the moment, is not a good window as far as that's concerned. 2 out of 10 at this moment in time. And then that's how I feel. But that's look, listen, if it finishes, then so be it. I'm not like going to go ranting and raving and it's the end of the world because we've still got a good team. But I will be saying it's a missed opportunity.
Can I just come in with some quick breaking news from Martin Ziegler? Hearing into Man City's 115 alleged breaches set to start next month.
Start? How long is it predicted to be?
Oh, now you're asking complicated questions.
Hasn't it?
I think that will be resolved this season. I'm fairly sure from what I've been told as well. I can't tell you when, but this season, whether it's to our liking or not, I don't know. But that will be resolved this season.
So far,
I'll tell you some more breaking news. This was really, really important. Yeah, do you want some really big breaking news?
Go on then.
Yeah.
Paul Merson is on Strictly Come Dancing.
No way.
God. Just been revealed.
Well, good luck to him. That's all I can say. Good luck to him.
Your news.
Could do with him in midfield, to be honest. He'd help right now. But yeah, Strictly Come Dancing.
Listen, he was a top player and he could dance around on a football pitch to say he can dance around in the ballroom.
Very good.
So far, I completely agree with James and Lee's assessment of the window so far.
What are you two guys going for? Me and James to put our necks on the block here.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm just going to open the door quickly. But Jordan, go ahead.
I'm with James. I think it's a 3. I think the 2 bits of business that we've done have been brilliant. I think Calafiore for 40 mil. I won't pretend like I've been watching him for 2 years, but from what I have seen of him, I think to get a defender of the quality from what I've seen, who can play left back and centre back, who I think will fit into Arteta's style of play in terms of comfortable on the ball, able to bring the ball comfortably into midfield. I think to get a player of that quality for 40 mil, I think is a very good deal. And I think to get rid of Smith Rowe for 35 mil is a very good deal. But I'm repeating what Lee said. I do think that the 2 other areas we need addressed, an 8 and an attacker, I think are really going to harm us. I think an attacker and/or an 8 brings it up to like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Because I still feel the squad is bloated. If we were to get those 2 players in, or even one of them in, the squad's quite bloated. I don't think you need Nelson, Vieira, and Nketiah. I think you need to get a couple of those guys off the books. It's a 3 out of 10 for me. But if we get the attacker that I think we need, and I know who I want, that goes to an 8. Yeah. But so it's a 3 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I just call it 3 out of 10. And to be honest, I agree with Lee. 2 out of 10. I actually said it to James earlier today, if you remember. But yeah, I'm looking at it now and saying 2. I think I heard Jordan say Emil Smith Rowe. Good deal for me. It was about time. Listen, I wish him the best. And listen, he might go on to have us looking at him and regretting it in a way, because there was potential there, but he just, I think, fell out of favor. But when you see the lack of movement around, in terms of if Vieira went as well, when we brought a new kind of 10 back up in, that would be refreshing. But now Vieira, we've got the same doubts about him that we did have about Emil Smith Rowe. So it doesn't feel like the Smith Rowe exit sorted anything. But Calafiore comes in and aids the defense, protects us in the left back area. Timber's going to have ups and downs
Two-
this season.
Two is harsh though, guys. 2 is like horrendous. 2 out of 10 is like horrendous. It's not a horrendous window. It's not good, but it's not horrendous.
It's not horrendous, Jordan, but it's not a window that's gonna get us what we want.
I agree. You gave it a 2.
Smith Rowe sold, right? Yeah, but how does that benefit me as a fan?
We're judging the window overall, and that factors in who you let go, who you keep, and who you sign.
Well, yeah, but we've let him go. Listen, you let Smith Rowe go, and you bring in a midfield player of quality. I can get my head around that. But at this moment in time, we've let Smith Rowe go, which has weakened our squad. Right? Yeah, it might have opened up the bank balance. I don't care about the bank balance, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you what, like, their bank balance is swollen, Arsenal's. My bank balance ain't, because they put all my season ticket up and everybody else's season ticket up, right? So you tell me where the benefit of Smith Rowe for me as a fan has helped. Not
Jordan
one
makes a good point.
Him.
But Jordan makes a good point. Like the transfer window, I get what you're saying. That's what I was saying back at you, Turkish. That's what I was saying to you in the studio earlier, which is I don't really care if Eddie goes or not, as long as we get the forward. But ultimately, when you're assessing the transfer window, of course, the sales and what we do in terms of outgoings, we've got to judge that too. That is all part of the business of football that we're all passing opinion on. I'm with Jordan. What makes it a 3 and not like a 1 or a 2 for me is I'm really happy about the Calafiori deal. Whether we needed him or not, I think he'll do something. I think he's a very good player. And I think we've got really good value for Smith Rowe. So there are some good things that have been done. There's just so much more I wanted doing. In terms of the outgoings, you mentioned Nketiah, Nelson, Ramsdale, maybe a Kivior or a Zinchenko, one of them. They're all still here fine. In terms of incomings, the priority was a forward and then a midfielder. Then it was a left back, and that's kind of the first thing we've done. So that's why I can't really give it any higher than that. But there have been some good things done, just nowhere near enough.
Right, and where I'm going to back it up with my theory as well, and people are saying it in the chat, is Vieira better than Smith Rowe?
Probably not.
No, not from what I've seen. No.
So there you go. So how can it be a fantastic window? And what's the difference between 3 and 4? 2 and 3? Not a lot, James. Really?
It's not. But 2 is like I said, 2. You give 2 is
but Jordan, when you look at the win, let's say we cast our minds back to May 30, whatever, whenever the season ended, 20 something, whatever. We knew we needed to sell Eddie, Emil Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson. We knew we were losing El Nene and Cedric already. I say losing, I mean done, whatever. So we knew already that time what we had to do. So forget the ones we knew were going off the back of the end of their contracts. Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Emil Smith Rowe, Ramsdale, 4 players there, minimum 4 players that needed sorting out. On top of that, we thought we would sort out Partey's situation as well. Going in under the radar is our reliance on Partey again this season, because game week 1, he breaks down and he's out for 4, 5, 6 weeks like we've seen before. We're left with Jorginho again. And listen, people need to understand with Jorginho and Trossard, they've popped up, they've done good. They've slotted in, they've done well. That's their role. You start relying on them, it's not going to be good enough. And that's what we're close to again. So out of all them outgoings that we expected to happen, only Emil Smith Rowe's happened at fair value. But if you agree with Jordan, James, his point, I agree with Lee's. For season ticket holders, for the the people that are spending their money week in, week out, and shirt sales and whatnot all around, and the expectation that we're going to improve this summer, our attacking midfield is actually weaker because of no Emil Smith Rowe and no addition there. So, yes, our defensive unit, the strongest defensive unit in the Prem at the moment, off the back of last season, is stronger now. But, like, centre-backs and left-backs don't sell seats in a way. Obviously, we're always going to sell out, but you know that saying. You want to be excited. We haven't got that. So, only Smith Rowe out and Calafiori in, when none of us guessed would get a centre-back/left-back. And we all expected at least 3 of the 5 players I mentioned to be gone. 2 is very fair.
Didn't Tavares go?
I don't know where that guy is, if I'm honest with you.
Well, that's another thing. If you want to bring them in, like, Lukonga out on loan, couldn't sell him. Is that a good thing? He's gone to another loan.
It's not a good thing.
I think Tavares gone out on loan as well.
Where is Tavares? Don't bring him up and start laughing, because none of you know where he is. Where is that guy?
Did he go on loan? I think he went to France on loan, didn't he?
Either him or the Congo went out on loan, and we sold the other one.
They both went out on loan. One was with an option, one was an obligation. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Tavares,
So is that great business?
Don't
Is that
start
great
that,
business?
Luigi.
Tavares went to Lazio. There we go. Thank you for chatting.
Oh, Lazio. Is it?
We moaned
is
for
that
it's a
great
4.
business?
4 out of 10. There you go. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, they couldn't even sell them.
You said 4.
I'll tell you what, I've got a better chance of selling my grandmother. She's been dead 20 years. I'm telling you that. I mean, like, yeah. Unreal.
This guy's fun. Well, any takers? Let us know.
Well, I don't know, like, I mean, but at the end of the day, I'll tell you what, if I did sell it, it'd be 10 out of 10. I'll tell you that now. I'll give 10 out of 10.
It'd be a good deal.
It'd be a good deal. But what I'm saying, come on. You know, it's not been great. It's not been great.
It hasn't, but we've done. All right, cool. We are 36 in. I've got all the ratings there. I want to stop off or park off quickly to get some super chats in. Let me see how they look on the screen because sometimes it messes about. Sadiq says this is a treat, live show. Big up to all of you. Big up you, Sadiq.
Big up, Sadiq.
Marco says the beauty of this podcast is the chemistry. Obviously, talking earlier about the banter side of things. A pissed Lee makes for a good pod. Love to you all.
He's just trying to sell his grandpa.
JJ says buy a striker, hinting at Gyökeres, or we gift City League number 5. Crazy when you put it like that. Edu landed in Spain today, not linked to Marino deal, says Dan. What's he doing? Holiday? That's not the right time, is it? Kevin says Spurs might have helped.
And he loaning those players out. He's got to have a break. You know what I mean? You've got to have a break.
Kevin says Spurs might have helped us. Eddie, maybe to. You know this Eddie to Bournemouth stuff. Can one of you enlighten me into where this has come from?
No, so there is actually a lot on it. Let me tell you everything. So, first came from, because I like to give credit, Sam C, who I think is with the United stand, said Bournemouth now strongly interested in Eddie Nketiah to replace Solanke among other options. Romano came in with that too. Then Mark McAdam, who works for Sky and I believe covers Bournemouth, and then Alex Crook of TalkSport. So everyone said it. Interestingly, Mark McAdam said that, because I think he's reporting from the Bournemouth angle, has said it could be a tricky deal to make happen as the player has a lot of interest. So there are other clubs he's suggesting.
In interest in Eddie? I've been hearing this for 4 years. What's the next super chat? Antenna says, let's put some of our players in the pawn shop. 4 years. Yeah, I asked. I wish I didn't. KD, big up, man. I hope you're good, bro. Least ever thought about a career in stand-up? Every year, Robbie tells us Brentford are interested, West Ham are interested, Crystal Palace are interested, Fulham are interested. Where?
Look, listen, I'm interested in dating models and, like, you know, OnlyFans girls. But
which one?
It never
Which
happens.
Which one, Lee? Which one?
It never happens.
Which one?
Halle Berry. Like, you know, I'm interested in Halle Berry. There you go, like, but it ain't going to happen.
You never know, Lee. You never know.
Well, like, you know what I mean? A 2 out of 10.
Her ex-husband's bald. You got a chance, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I know if I met her, I would, but there's a difference. I ain't going to meet her, am I? Like, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, these, you know what I mean? Like, Robbie sold Eddie, you know, 66 times. Listen, Eddie's a nice guy and all that.
Wait.
We got to move on. When you start sentencing with Eddie's a nice guy, it's like if a girl says to you, "Oh, you're really, really funny," that's like code for you're ugly.
Yeah, I like Eddie. I like Eddie as a person. I don't think he's a crack player by any chalk of the imagination. But at the end of the day, he's not. I said this earlier on. I think football players, it's a bus ride, guys. Yeah, but his bus stop has come. He's got to get off, right? And someone else has to come on. That's how it is. That's how football is. It's ruthless, you know, and that is how it is. And I'm really sorry. He's got to, you know, like Robbie should be his agent. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
What did you say? Robbie sold him 66 times.
He first sold him 66 times last year to all different clubs. He's still here. I wouldn't want him as my agent. I'm telling you that now.
You're off, mate. No, you're not. Sorry.
Yeah, you're off. Yeah, where to? No, you're back in. You're back on the bus. You know.
Come on, guys. Eddie's had 30 minutes on this podcast now.
Anthony said Robbie's a scammer. We still love our big guy. All right, cool. We've all rated the windows. That's not all the super chats. Two more, sorry. Apologies. Lee perfectly sums it up. We have a title winning team, but not a title winning squad. Plus, I want us to go deep in the cup runs. Completely agree. And big up Doro saying Jordan, Turkish, James and Lee. I love you guys. Come on. Love for the love.
Love you too, bro.
Love you too.
Come on, my bro.
And I love Eddie. There you go. I've said it.
Why? Actually, let me not even get into it. Let's move. Next segment.
He's very nice.
Next segment.
True.
And what did he say? He met him in. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
another one he met.
I've got Eddie on the back of my new 14 shirt. That old shirt has come out of daylight, you know.
Yeah. You're smiling now, but you know you'll be grinding those teeth in October if that's who comes on at 0-0. Yeah, we know that.
Listen, I'm not being horrible, and I don't mean this horribly against Eddie, but I have been there when there's 5 minutes to go in the game, and we're losing 1-0, and they've brought on Eddie, and people have just gone, "That's it, I'm going home," and just walked out. You know what I mean? I've seen it.
Yeah, listen,
that's the reality. That is the reality.
And we keep saying it's not. We're talking about Eddie now because of the Marseille stuff, but we've made a list. Eddie, Nelson, and Ramsdale are all in the same, situation for me. They should all have been gone already. All three of those players, because there's value there. We all disagree on the value, but I'm glad people are realizing. With
I think Ramsdale's a little bit different. There ain't really that many clubs for him to go to where he can.
Find somebody, man. Find somebody.
Well,
give him a loan.
I'll give him a loan. There you go. Give him a loan. I tell you, it's like Arsenal's like a bank, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? That make no money. Give them a loan. I'd love to go to Arsenal and go like, oh look, I'm in debt a little bit. I'll give you a loan. It's lovely, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? I can't afford my season ticket this year. Give you a loan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, lovely.
We can't let Lee drink on stream ever again, people.
Yeah, it's not the first time. Go on, James.
Josh Gedya with a comment, and I heard it, and I thought I'm just going to leave this because maybe it's an old phrase I didn't know about. But Lee honestly said, "By any chalk of the imagination." Is it just me who thinks this isn't? That's not a saying, right?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, he then goes on to
say, even said, "Nah, it's not a saying."
He then goes on to say, "I need a podcast with Lee and Said this season," which would actually be
Lee and Said. Imagine
that would be world class.
Call it English lessons.
It's a bit out of order, I'm dyslexics. You know what I mean? Like, and at the end of the day, you're out of order taking the mickey out of that, really.
We apologize. Quick.
I can say loan, though. I can say loan. I can say that.
Oh, move it on.
Before you take another sip, Lee, we're going to do a quick fire question round. Yeah, I just want to get everyone's answers to this because this will have an impact at the end of the season on our prediction table. Remember prediction table, people? Obviously, that is coming back. We're going to make prediction for the Wolves game at the end of the show. But quick fire round, 5 questions. All of these questions, if you get the answer right come May, you get 3 points added to the prediction table. So each individual one is worth 3 points. You've got to get it bang on, whether it's a number or a name or whatever the question entails. 5 questions, 15 points up for grabs. First question is, Jordan, let's start with you. Where will we finish?
Quick fire, but I'll expand on this in a second. I don't have Arsenal or City winning the league this year. I've got us second.
We'll go into that at a later date. Lee?
I'm saying Arsenal going to win it.
James?
Second, unless we sign Marino and a forward, then I think we'll win it. But second, as things stand.
As things stand, come 1st of September. Listen, I've just made up these rules today on the spot, and I'm going to make up another one now. Come 1st of September, we're allowed to change one of our 5 answers. Yeah, come 1st of September, we're allowed to change one of our 5 answers. So I'm saying second.
Yeah, up for that.
Actually, let me say first. I'll change it first. All right, cool. Next question, Jordan again. How many trophies will we win?
0.
Lee?
1.
James?
1.
I'm going 1 as well. Next question. Player of the season, Jordan. Arsenal.
This was a hard one. I've gone Saliba just.
Cool. Lee?
Is this the league or for Arsenal?
For Arsenal.
Yeah, okay. Saliba just.
Lee?
Right.
Rice. James?
Odegaard.
Odegaard.
He's cooking.
And I'm going with Jordan Saliba. Next question, Jordan. Top scorer.
Saka.
Lee?
Havertz.
Ooh.
James?
Saka.
Havertz. Shock. Next question. Number of clean sheets. Jordan.
So I'm glad you asked this one, Turkish, because I wanted to make a point on this one. I've got, and I was going to say this before you even put in the group, you're going to ask this question. I've got Arsenal down to 20. I don't want Arsenal to concede more than 20 goals this season.
Wait. Clean sheets. We're talking. How many games are we not going to concede in? Not. What did you just
20 clean sheets in the season.
20 clean sheets, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Lee?
15.
Yeah, but it's got to be.
I said, because I think we did another. I think I said 18, so I'll go 18 again.
Bloody hell.
18. I'm going 17.
We got around that much before last season.
20. It was 24 last year.
What, in the league?
Yeah.
As a club, we did 24. No.
Yeah.
What, in the league?
Yes.
No way in the league.
No, Jordan. No. What, last year?
Check it, James.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm on it.
I got 24.
No way.
Last year we got
No
18.
way over 20 in the league.
Last year we got 18 in the league.
Was it 18?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 18, yeah.
Well,
18.
David Raya was 16. Yeah, 18 for Arsenal. Yeah.
18.
Was it 18? Oh, shame. I got 24. Okay, can I revise mine then?
Nuts.
Well, go on,
What
then.
did I say? 15.
Yeah.
Can I revise mine then? Can I?
Go on.
No, I'll stick with 15. I think we'll be a little bit more.
Go on, Jordan.
I'm gonna go 17.
Why'd you do the number I picked, though?
Guys, you know, Zubimendi's rejected Liverpool.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
How is it?
I want him so badly.
That's coming through now across a few different media outlets. Nothing from Romano or Ornstein yet, but I mean,
That's really
that
good.
surely gives us a free run of this Marino thing now. Like, surely. Not that I didn't think it impacted it anyway, but yeah.
I would take Zubimendi.
Well, he's rejected Liverpool and us and Barcelona. I feel like he doesn't want to leave.
Did he turn us down?
But that's what they say. That apparently
Okay.
we were interested a while
Okay.
back.
He wants to stay in Spain, didn't he? He said that.
Yeah, it's fair. Whatever.
He's a
Enjoy your life.
baller. He's a baller.
So that's all the questions. That's quick fire round done. We can look at them again 1st of September or the first week of September, international break when we're back during that period. And like I said, we're allowed to make one change to that off the back of any movement in the next 2.5 weeks. One super chat's coming from Rigo saying, or Rigo's mum saying, nah, did you just use your brethren's name and say mum to get me to say Re? I don't get it. I don't get it. Or did you just bait me?
I think he baited you, bro.
No, but what is it together though? Nah, he hasn't. But I don't know. It sounds very personal. Oh, we move. Sorry, Rigo. As in fan base, we were desperate for Tony in January. What's changed? He might be a diva, but he is the clinical cog we need and a bargain at the moment. You know who can just shut the hell up? The people that say the right profile is not on the market. You know, I'm getting them people come out again. So after Vlahovic in January 2022, it took us 2.5 years to find the right profile again. In between, we bought Jesus and Havertz, and well, come on. This is why I expect the final pieces to have been ready. You mentioned Tony. If it's Tony, he improves our attack, but he still doesn't give me that feeling that we've done enough for me to say we're favourites. But he improves our attack, and like I said, we can win the league without Tony. So if we have him, we've got a better chance to. Well, listen, it's not the one that I don't think it's the one we waited all these years for. But it is what it is.
I also think with Tony is that maybe we could have spoke to him and all that. He's not going to be a regular. Not going to be a guaranteed start.
Yeah, another option.
And you know, I look at Tottenham, and you have to ask the question why, if you be honest, who would you prefer, Solanke or Tony? I think Tony's the better player, but why have they gone down that route? I don't know. I don't know what
It's
this
his wages, Lee. It's his wage demands.
Is that what it is? You think?
Yeah. He wants some out. He wants like a crazy contract. Excuse me.
There you go. So you know, if at the end of the day, I know if I had a choice of striker, I know which one I would want. You know, but if it comes down to money, financial things, whatever, you know, there you go. It must be crazy money if Tottenham are prepared to pay 65 million for Solanke. It's got to be crazy money that he wants. I think Tony's a very, very good player, but you know, listen, I don't think he was over keen of being on the bench for England. You know what I mean? He's not going to come at Arsenal and be a guaranteed starter.
Oh, yeah, but I'll still take it.
But he would improve us, though. Yes, I'm not saying that he wouldn't. Of course he would.
And we shouldn't be in this position because, you know, they've left themselves in a position where if it is someone like that, even if we, you know, bring him in and don't win the league, we're still going to look back now, whether it's because we didn't do nothing or whether it's because we left it so late, it's Ivan Toney coming in, that we're going to link it back to this. I don't want no excuses, but let's move. Looking forward, start of the season, Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff against Wolves. But before we delve into Wolves and what we want to see and the likelihood, I think we all kind of agree that we expect the same starting lineup. I want to look at the first three. I say the first three because then the international break comes and then it's a big September with away games back-to-back Tottenham and City. So we'll separate it out. We'll look at August fixtures and we'll talk about expectation. So our first three fixtures, our August fixtures are Wolves at home, Aston Villa away, and Brighton at home. 9 points up for grabs. What do you expect, James?
9. I have to. Come on, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
It goes with the usual. I don't disrespect him. We're playing and all that. But okay, Villa, Champions League club. We're playing at Villa Park. Never easy. Arsenal and City lost there, both in the same week last season. In fact, they beat us twice last year. Unai Emery at times has done a job on Arteta, not always. Although I think they've met 4 times and he's lost 3 of them, Arteta, I think. I just think the part of the reason I'm calm and patient with the transfer window is because I don't think we need additions to get past that first 3. So home games, I live by this rule that the minute you become a genuinely very good team in the Premier League, the expectation is to win every home game. It just is. City, Real Madrid, whoever, I don't care. You come to the Emirates, we're at home. I expect us to win that game. And then context will play its part. So that's, Brighton and Wolves at home. And then Villa away. Like, I think this is why, like, results-based analysis is really annoying because people will tell you that Emery had Arteta's number all last season, beat him twice. What was it? 1-0 away from home, 2-0. We couldn't even score against them. Watch those games with your eyes, and Arteta and Arsenal, but Arteta coached them, created a lot of chances in those games. A lot of chances. We had a goal disallowed that shouldn't have been away at Villa Park. We had one cleared off the line from Amy Martinez, incredible save, but really it was a bad miss from Trossard. We had chance after chance after chance, and we couldn't bury them. We almost had the same stinker performance in front of goal against the same team twice. Thing happened with West Ham, but then we went to West Ham and slapped them 6-0 because we performed a 6-0 game at home before we actually beat them 6-0 away, a couple of months later. So Villa are a very good side, and they've actually added well with Onana and a few others. But I think we should be expecting to go there and win. It won't be easy, but that is my expectation, despite how good they are. So 9 points out of 9 is my demand.
Yeah, I think the Wolves and Brighton games are not givens because we've seen them, throw up curveballs before both sides. But I look at the Aston Villa game in particular. Without the upgrades, I thought we would, go into the season with, and look at it like that's a key game for me because that's a game I think. If any club attributed to us not winning the league, it was Aston Villa. It wasn't away at Etihad. It wasn't, even Fulham. I'd say that can happen. Aston Villa home and away, we got dealt with. That's a big one because if we go same team into that game and do what we need to do what we should have done last season, get the job done. Not necessarily emphatically, but comfortably, because there was a lot of comfortable wins last season. Not emphatic, but comfortable domination and so on. If we go and do that without the necessary upgrades, that will again, for me, will lift the spirit a little more again, because that's a team that I look at last season that cost us against them. And if we can turn it around without a new addition into the side, that means the hunger's still, very, very, very much there. That means that the tactical tweaks that are necessary when you're competing with City are working well. So the Aston Villa one is the one I look at, but 9 points is the expectation. We have to win. We have to win all three, doesn't it? Especially with Tottenham away and City away. If we drop any points in these first three, it's over before it begun. But 9 points for me as well. Jordan,
7
expectation. Yeah, you think we'll draw one? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think one thing I always bang on about starting season strong and kind of setting your stall out and really giving everybody, putting everyone on notice and making the rest of the league realize that, you're coming again, you're the team to beat, all that sort of stuff. But I think there's one thing we've learned as Arsenal fans, or even just football fans, with this City team around, it's more important how you finish. The back end of the season is what really matters. You don't want to be too far behind City come Christmas, of course, but I think they'll beat Wolves quite comfortably. I like Gary O'Neill. I think he's a good manager, but he's lost his 2 best players this summer, so I want to see what Wolves do. But I think we'll win that convincingly. I think Villa are going to be a big issue this season, and I expect to beat Brighton at home, although they're somewhat of our bogey team. But I wouldn't be losing my head if it was 7 points. I say this every season, guys. You must get bored of it, but the start of the season for me is about performances. You can afford a slip up or two, albeit the margins are tight going up against City. I think you can afford a slip up or two if you're doing the right things. I think if you're kind of winning games but you're not doing the right things, that will catch up with you eventually. So for me, it's all about... Sorry?
I hear that.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying we want to be dropping points and we're all 9 points behind City come Christmas. No. But I think that the start of the season we've seen with City, it's the long game.
Sorry to cut you, Jordan. You said a slip up or two. It started making me think, how many slip ups will cost you the league? Essentially, games we're talking.
It's a good question. So
last season, essentially 4. I think Fulham, West Ham, and Aston Villa home and away. So if we have a slip up in one of the first 3, we're very close. We're very much closer to 4 already. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I do. But here's the thing. I don't think City. I think 90 points wins the league this year. I don't think City get 90 plus this year. I think they're going to revert a little bit. I don't think we'll go past 90, but I don't think we'll need to get past 90 to win the title. So I think that if we slip up 3 or 4 times again, I think that might be it. If we repeat last year, this year, we win the title. I think City will dip slightly.
Yeah.
Whether that dip's big enough or not, we'll see.
That could be more fool us, because last season I said it over and over again. After Villa, I said, if we win every game, we'll win the league, because City will drop points in one. And I believed more we wouldn't win every game than City. I thought City would actually drop points in one. And the Liverpool fans that I know, Grizz as well, but I know friendship-wise in terms of growing up, they said, see, like when we was talking to you about this, when you were struggling, making top 4 and that, this ain't easy. We expected that at least 3 times for them to slip up the way you was hoping for now, and they never did. So
no, I hear you. And I think history might make me look silly, because the evidence is there to show that City do a madness when it needs to be. I just think that, as well as me saying with one side of my mouth, expectations and margins have to be tight and have to be high this season. I just don't think City hit 90 points plus this year. So that's what I think will bring a couple other teams into the title race. Is my prediction. But yes, 7 points from the first 3. I don't think that's catastrophic. I think that would be, if you can win your first 3 games, great. But if you take a point at Villa Park, the way that Villa I think will go on this year, I don't think that's the end of the world. I think it just means then you can't afford to lose at home to West Ham again. You can't afford to, do you know what I mean, lose to Villa at the Emirates this season. Those are the games, I think, as James says, we have to make Highbury a fortress. I don't think Highbury. The Emirates is a fortress. I genuinely don't. I think our record at home is really, really good, but I still don't get the sense that teams really, really are scared to come to the Emirates. And I think this year we've got to lay on the marker that when you come to the Emirates, it's remember they chatted about Old Trafford back in the day. It was a question of you hear ex-pros talk about it now. Oh, if we got out there over 2-0, job done. That's a good day's work. We've got to start making teams think the same way about the Emirates. It's not a question of can we get a point. It's a question of can we get shots? Can we get a goal?
Yeah.
We've got to make the Emirates really somewhere where we're looking to get pretty much win every game at home. That should be our target this season. And I think if we do that, our away record over the last 2 years has been really good. I think that might be enough.
So the draw is Aston Villa then, yeah, I'm assuming, yeah. So
Yeah.
Lee, 9 points up for grabs.
9 points. I think we've got to beat Villa away when you think we've got Man City and Tottenham coming up straight after that.
Shall I ask you for, because I've just been thinking now, I know I've added the jeopardy of the 5 questions we just asked. This is something maybe we do every month in terms of our league fixtures, predict how many points we get. And do we get a point at the end of the month if we get the number of points right?
Why
Yeah,
not?
good one. No,
What am I doing there?
1 point. So if it's
Add
9
something
points,
different
if it's
layer
9
to it.
points,
Why not?
us 3 get it. If it's 8 points, no one. If it's 7, Jordan, and so on. All right, cool. We've got to give Jordan more of a chance, you man. So I'm trying here, man.
See, if I'd have known that, I would have just gone with the 9 points then. You know what I mean?
trying.
Done over there.
I'll swear. Nah, so you don't really believe. You know, what do you mean?
No, I'm joking. I think it will be 7. I think it will be 7.
Say no more. Big up Michael with the super chat saying, I feel Arsenal want to get rid of both Eddie and Nelson, want to replace them with a striker or a winger, not both. Who do you think they will go with? No, that's the golden
I agree with
question.
Michael. That's exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
The question is,
Yeah.
they're going to do that addition, and they're going to be ruthless enough and brave enough to go do that deal, regardless of what happens with Eddie and Nelson. I'm fine with them going, well, if we sell them and we get the money we want for them, we have more money to put towards that player. But it comes a point where you got to go, all right, we've got to get that player in regardless now. And maybe on deadline day, those moves for Eddie and Reece and others might happen, but you can't bank on that anymore. It's 12th of August.
Yep, exactly that. That is that for the super chats. We have just passed 1 hour. Let me quickly check how many likes we're on, because really, past an hour, there's over 2,400 people. We're on 500 likes, not bad because I haven't asked, but now I've asked people. Let's make it 1,000 right now. It's the first live Forever Arsenal of the season. You guys and girls always want to say, bring it live at least once a month. We do want to do that. Jordan, I wasn't doing the outro. You don't have to interrupt.
No. I wanted just to ask a question to you guys.
Oh,
because I think what we do often, we being Arsenal fans, we often kind of say things at the start of the season, and then we kind of do complete 180s come the back end of the season. And we don't hold ourselves accountable for the things that we said at the start of the season. So I think we should, the 3 of us, just one thing that we think the club will or should achieve this year and why. And then at the back end of the season, we can't then say, obviously things change and you can change your mind to a degree. But I just hear a lot of Arsenal fans come the back end of the season chatting absolute madness when I'm like, but hang on, the start of the season, you were saying that. Do you know what I mean? So I just think we should lay our stall out from now and be very clear on what we expect and why. And then we hold ourselves to that. We can be wrong, but at least be consistent. It's kind of, I guess, what I'm
I get you. I totally get you. But I just don't know what.
Can I ask you both a question then? Because everyone knows I bang on about it all the time and everyone's tired of it. I'm tired of it. But Jordan and James, you've both predicted, because the earlier questions were more predictions. You both predicted second. Is the expectation first? If I ask you, what do you expect?
No,
it's not like, what do I mean expectation? Because James, you've caveated it with the transfer window hasn't filled you, so I guess your expectation is second. But if you take everything in, if you put all things on the table, all the years, the process, the phases, the transfers, the 2 title challenges, the youthful side of our squad, the hunger side of it in comparison to them winning it all, not refreshing, is the expectation that Arsenal should win the league this season?
For me, no.
No,
it's expectation. Like, I don't mean to be difficult, but what do we mean? Like, there's no doubt that's Arteta's expectation. He's in there going, I expect us to win the league. we are all as Arsenal fans expecting to win the league, but it almost comes with this sort of like this side dish of if we don't, then we are furious because we didn't do what we expected. So like, yes, that is my expectation. But if you're asking what is the bare minimum before I'm genuinely pissed off, furious with what the club have achieved, it's anything outside of a title race. I think with the money we've spent, the growth of this team, the decisions that have been made, I expect, anything less than, again, asking questions of Man City, I'll be really disappointed that I'll fall flat. But context comes into it. If we finish third, 15 points off first, but we've won the Champions League, like I'm absolutely fine. You know what I mean? Like if we finish 5 points off City, Champions League final, but we won a Carabao Cup, like obviously that's a good season. But there'll be disappointment that we didn't do the things we were. So it's just so difficult. I think we like to have these conversations where we nail an opinion to the wall and go, well, it must be this. And I get what you're saying, Jordan, but you know, if 7 of our first team players are all injured by September and we don't see them till January, obviously my thoughts and feelings on what I expect this season changes slightly as well. So
I hear you. So my question to Turkish and to Lee and to those that do have Arsenal as winning the title, and you're not allowed to say it's just our time. Tell me why. What's changed in the last 6 months that makes you think Arsenal will come first this time?
Go on.
No, do you want me to go first or you?
Yeah, no, go on.
I feel that Manchester City can't get any better. Can't get any better. De Bruyne can't get any better. A few of their players like Walker can't get any better. A few of their players have reached the peak and are just coming down. And I feel that Arsenal have still not reached their peak. For instance, I believe that Saka can get better. I believe Havertz can get better. I believe Odegaard can get better. I believe that Rice can get better. I believe Martinelli can get better. Saliba can get better. So on, so on, so on. And I just think that might tip us our favour.
I hear that.
Yeah, go on.
So I don't think Kevin De Bruyne is going to be a better footballer than we've seen. I wonder if it's such wishful thinking. I do wonder if like he's starting to decline slightly, can't play every game. Even in the running, Pep didn't play him every time. Maybe that speaks volumes of their squad more so than De Bruyne. Stones had injury issues, not wishing injury issues, but you wonder if that plays a part long term. Kyle Walker, I thought, was a disaster at the Euros. And he was always like you almost couldn't attack down there right because Kyle Walker was there. But like he was shocking at the Euros. Like his pace isn't covering for his positioning anymore and things like that. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's not about how much we jump forward, but also about whether they regress.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm with you, James, and I'm with Lee. I mean, Jordan, it's hard to pin down because it probably all comes down to more hope than any real fact or statement. But like the hope is based off of what you'd expect the natural trajectory to be without a refreshment in the summer. I think you'd expect Man City's squad to maybe, and Pep said it himself though. Let's not forget Pep said, I always need to rejuvenate sides when I sell big players and people are shocked. It's because they've won stuff and then you need to show that, you need to keep it, people on their toes. This is contrary to what they're doing this summer. Are they waiting for the backlash from this 115 or whatever this, stuff comes out? Maybe they're preparing for that. But yeah, I think it's so finely balanced that when you look, 5 points separated us 2 years ago, 2 points separated us last season. Realistically, natural trajectory could take us above by a point. If our youthfulness, if our hunger to win stuff because we haven't done it, if we learn from the experience of last season, because it was a very different experience to the season before, because I think we've done enough to win the league the way our 2024 form was. So it's a different sort of blow than chucking it away like we did the year before. These things can make another 3 points up for sure. Make another 5 points maybe. And Man City's trajectory, because their players have won stuff, because Haaland seems to, over the last 6 to 8 months, I won't say found out because he's still the second best striker in the world, but he's not as fierce a threat as he was in his first season. Our Man City, they could drop off by 2 points this season. That wins us the league. Can that happen? Yes. and that's why I'm predicting first. But the reality is, I also predicted second on another show that you're going to see coming at, because it's so finely poised, Jordan. I want
Yeah, I
to
hear
get,
it.
I need us to win it. We should win it, and I think we can win it.
I,
But
I,
Man
hear-
City are favourites.
no, I hear you. And there was someone in the chat just in the comments earlier. I want to find it actually because it annoyed me. Where is he? Where is he?
Someone
Where
said,
is
"Why you find it, Pep? Never understand." And I'm not. That's key as well. Pep could just step up 2 levels, and then that's it. He
he?
does
He
something
could.
different.
He could.
Yeah.
It was Bavin Office who said, "Why are we afraid of believing that as Arsenal fans we will win the league in 24-25? It's not about being afraid to say we could win the league. It's just about not being deluded, but also we're a football podcast here, and I like to think that we're a little bit more intelligent than just kind of going on emotion. We can all sit here and say, yeah, we're gonna do, we can all do that. So I'm just kind of prodding a little bit for like real, and I agree with Lee. I actually think all of Lee's points are valid. I agree. De Bruyne's peaked. Edison, something's going on there. I don't think they're getting a motivated Edison. Who else did you name? Carl Walker, as James says, I think his best years are now behind him. But you could counter that by saying they've still got the best midfielder in the world. They've still got one of the best defenders in the world. They've still got the best striker in the league, and they've got the genius of Pep behind them. So I'm just trying to do you know what I mean? Just scratch a little bit behind the kind of belief that actually you think they've got to stop winning leagues at some point. So it's got to happen at some point. I'm just not going to fall into this trap of, making predictions off of hope, because we can all do that. United could do that. Liverpool could do that. You can all make an argument on hope. But what are the actual footballing reasons why you can say we will be better than them this year? That's what I'm trying to get to. And all your reasons are valid. It's not much. I could be wrong. But
listen, the thing is, and I think people forget this, is that when we was playing Man United and chasing Man United in the great Wenger years, it was us and them. It was like, you know what I mean? Oh, can we win it this year? It may have been a signing here, like a Sol Campbell that took us over the line for that year or whatever. There was no real rhyme or reason who was going to win it. You know what I mean? There were two very, very good teams that went at it. And at the end of it, maybe it was the points against each other that done it. I remember when Roy Keane got a couple of goals at Highbury, and that in the end ultimately won them the league. But it's going to be fine margins. You know, I agree that Foden can go up another level. Of course he can. Like Haaland can. They've got players that have as well. But it's a team. As a team, you know what I mean. Like 3 or 4 of them. Like I don't care what anybody says. De Bruyne has been a key player for them. If he gets any better at 33, then that's mind blowing. I don't think that he will. And I think at times last season, they were struggling against Newcastle. I remember he comes on and has an unbelievable 15, 20 minutes. Of course, he's capable of doing that. But eventually, he's not going to be as good as what he was. And I just think that at the end of it, I think that we're in with a shout. Listen, I also think, what's a big key in this, guys, is that other teams around us improve as well. Like Tottenham get better. Liverpool get better, Manchester United get better, because they have got to take points off of Manchester City as well. It's not, we've got a rival in in Tottenham that is always going to be 2 massively difficult games. Manchester United at the minute is 6 points for Manchester City, so you've got to hope that Man United get better. So when they go to Manchester City, the Manchester derby, it's a little bit more cut and thrust. Liverpool have always given Manchester City a very, very good game, but we've got to hope that Villa and the likes, and Chelsea, by the way, done us massive favours last season, took like 4 points off Man City. So I think that's important as well, and but I don't know, listen, we're in the mix, aren't we? 3-4 years ago, guys, if you'd have said where you're going to put Arsenal to win where you're going to put them up, and we said, we're going to come first or second, let's be honest, you get laughed at. We ain't getting laughed at now, whether we say first or second. So there is improvement in Arsenal, and we have got better and better as we've gone on, and that's what I'm hoping, just hoping that it gets us over the line.
I think the margins are so tight, and I think if you look at all the metrics of where you judge City and Arsenal, I think defensively, as a group of defenders, I think we shade it now. I would take our group of defenders, and their defenders are great. I love Akanji, Ake solid. Diaz is a problem.
We don't shade it. We've got a better defensive unit. Full stop.
I think so. I think in midfield, I think they shade it. their crop over our crop.
Yeah,
I'd just take their
Rodri,
crop.
Bernardo's, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just.
Right, Odegaard, Rice.
I wouldn't say just. I think midfield they comfortably have it. We don't have an
Yeah,
eight.
level.
We don't.
Level.
I think they win that, and I think
You said
I'm
level,
not-
Lee.
Party, Rice and Odegaard on their top form. That is a midfield to. I think
but
honestly, I'm going to be
there's-
really honest. If Party would have been fit for the whole of the season, I think we'd have won it. I think that would have took us over the line. I think that's an incredible midfield.
I think they just about shade it, but I think Pep Arteta has shown that he's not as good as as Guardiola. I'm not saying that, but he's shown that he can push him all the way. So that I think is pretty close. I think the only difference is Haaland. My concern is that Haaland's the difference. There'll be games where City are put,
I agree.
but Haaland can just get you 2 goals because he's a beast. I don't think we have that match winner. I don't think we have that match winner that can just, in those games where we're not good, just do something. And for me, no one's mentioned it yet. I've not heard anybody mention it yet. I'd be looking at Eze. I'd be looking at Eze at Palace. He can play across the front three. I think he's a really good finisher. I think he wouldn't expect to start games. He wouldn't be cheap. But I think someone like Eze would be a game changer for Arsenal in our team. I just think that Haaland is the difference in terms of judging both teams. I just think they've got someone who, when it's all going tits up, can just, there you go. Back
Also
post
funny,
Haaland.
I think Foden is more that player, or De Bruyne, almost like we're playing terribly. We've had 5 shots all game, but let me just slap one in the top corner. Do you know what I mean? Like I think.
Yeah, but I think we've got players that are relatively comparable to those two. We've got no one comparable to Haaland.
No, so I do agree, but they're comparable maybe in terms of style and position. But like match winner. See, that's why I really like the Eze link, which we haven't heard for like a good month now. But if we don't sign a forward and we sign Eze, who is more of a central midfielder /10, but can play left, can play right, can play up top, I'd be happy with that just because he feels like he's got some match winning quality. Like you could play him on the left, get him moving inside a little bit. And I just think he'd 3 times a season find the top corner in a game where we're kind of struggling to do something. And he's got all the extra quality that goes with everything else. I mean, honestly, I watched Eze's, I watched like an Eze, what's it called? Montage, compilation of goals, whatever. I couldn't believe it. I was like, bloody hell, these guys left foot, top corner, right foot, top corner, dribbling through the whole team, slots in the corner. And then it took me a second. I went, this was all last season. Like I thought this was like his career, tally, like his best goals ever. It was last season. Honestly, go watch like Eze 23, 24 goals. And you think, imagine you harness that like season after season, just that kind of level of match winning quality. That's what I think we need, something like that. And I think City, as much as they've got, yes, Haaland, the best striker in the world, yes, De Bruyne, Rodri, probably the 2 best midfielders in the world. And of course that plays a part, but there's this match winning quality that a lot of their players can produce that we don't have.
And that's where the whole shade in it thing is kind of skewed, because midfield wise, man for man, their players have that decisiveness that we need to see this season. Haaland, I mean, De Bruyne, look, Odegaard's been quality, but De Bruyne on top for me has that cutthroat ruthlessness to him, where he'll bury it if he needs to bury it when things ain't going his way. Odegaard, not so much yet. So these are the level ups we need to see. Which trajectory, age it should be, then level up. But we'll see. More on Wolves though. More on Wolves. I guess we all expect to see the same lineup that started against Leon start against Wolves.
Yeah, I think that was a trial for them. And by the way, I like a lot of what I saw in that game. I will say, after 30 minutes, we dipped. Now, was that because they treated it almost like a Premier League game? You don't go all out to chase that third when you're comfortable in a Premier League game. So maybe that was part of it, or maybe we just kind of run out of ideas slightly. But still had chances. We just weren't as amazing. That first 30 minutes was like very similar to Leverkusen, where we just felt like we were kind of relentlessly attacking. Our defensive shape is unbelievable. Like the way we press as a team, and then the way we drop into a block. I mean, you go back 4 or 5 years ago, are you a pressing team or are you a park the bus team? We do both. We literally do both. And I think that's the direction modern football's gone in a little bit. Kai Havertz, I mean, I was looking at his average positions map from both games. One game he started up front, one game he started in midfield. He's in the exact same places every time. Like his job is to either drop deep when he's up front or make runs to stretch the pitch when he's in midfield. So either way, he's always kind of yo-yoing from one position to the other. I like that he's trying to play Martinelli in some form, it seems. I thought Rice was brilliant against Lyon, but he struggled against Leverkusen. I thought against Lyon, he was really good. I loved the underlaps with Martinelli. I loved what was going on that left-hand side. Zinchenko's finding form. Zinchenko could have had a few assists in this game. So, I really like just how we're looking. And we're trying some new things. And I think that 11 is the 11 that will go out against Wolves, and it should have enough.
Yeah, everyone agree?
Yeah, I think that, I think that last game of the season, pre-season, you always sort of get really the team that you're going to go for in the beginning. And if there is one change, it would be Trossard for Martinelli. But I think, like Martinelli, don't forget, he's still the main guy, really.
Martinelli needs to step up. I've been on his case quite a lot. He needs to step up. He's not a kid anymore. He's a starting player for Arsenal Football Club. I'll give him a slight pass because injuries killed him last year. And I think James really articulately said that the left side of our team was decimated because of Zinchenko's being out injured, Xhaka leaving, and all that sort of stuff. So I'll give him a slight pass, but I would have tried to sign somebody to make him the second choice. I'm just not sure if he will be the guy in the end, but he's the guy for now. He needs to step up. And then another quick point, just I know I'm messing up your running order of the show. Sorry, Turkish. Saka. I mean, we haven't got backup for Saka still. And I'm just really concerned that he's the one player in the team. Huh?
Oh, shock. He will never address this, Miguel.
It's really concerning because one of the things that concerns about this season is we had a really good run last year. We had a lot of luck on our side. We worked hard. We were a great team. We had to push the team all the way. But injury-wise, we were very fortunate last year. Only Timber and
this season, but this season though, the way I'm looking at it is completely different. We do have a backup for Saka.
Who?
We do have options up top because this is what they want. Reece Nelson. Keep Reece Nelson again.
No,
that's your backup for Saka. I don't care if you don't use him or not. I don't want to hear fans at the end of the season say, well, he doesn't like Reece Nelson. I've said that, but I've said that 2 years in a row. I will not say
making my point. You're making my point. If everybody else gets injured, it's key to us. I think we've got cover that can do a job. Saka's out for 6 months. We're done.
Yeah, but so that's that with all teams. Like you lose a bit of player, you know what I mean, for the season.
Man City lost the break.
Man City wasn't
3 months. Yeah, and Haaland for 2
if Haaland's out all season, like I'll be very surprised if Man City win the league. If he gets an injury in the first game of the season, out for 6 months.
But I guess the point is that they're going to buy someone. I refuse to believe they won't replace Alvarez. The point I'm making is the dip in cover for us for Saka is huge. It's huge.
We've got Martinelli. I think if you look back to the last game of the season, he played Martinelli there. I think that he's looking at different options if it comes into it. Jesus can play there. I think at the end of the day, I don't think they'll get back up for him. And at the end of the day, it's really wrong. You're right. There are people going, I'll get Neto in, what, for 54 million? And you're going to talk to Neto. He's going to turn around and say, where am I going to play then, Mikel? Well, you're going to be back up to Saka. Well, I prefer to go to Chelsea, or I'll go here or I'll go there. It's very, very difficult to go and replace Saka and get a player in that's going to ultimately go, you're going to be back up to Saka. It's like Tottenham had this problem for years with Harry Kane.
You can get someone, Lee. If Saka's out for 4 months and Nelson's your replacement, we're done.
Well, who are we going to get then?
We're done.
What you do, you go get either you go get a left
Eze is a perfect opportunity. That's the one I'd get.
What? But so you get Eze, who you're basically saying to Eze, do you want to play in this team? All right. Well, you're battling with Ødegaard, you're battling with Rice, you're battling with Martinelli, you're battling with Saka. All of them. It's every single one. There's more than one route into the team.
Exactly, and that's a better option, isn't it? Than just
So in a okay, you might have a situation where Saka can't play, and you're going, well, Eze isn't really so comfortable on the right. That's fine. You're going to shift. You're going to shuffle Jesus to the right. You might play Trossard false 9. You get Eze where he's more comfortable on the left. Like you just move it around. That's what Liverpool did for years. They signed Salah. Mane had killed it on the right, and they went, but Salah's something. We're going to move you to the left. Like
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
keep Saka's backup doesn't have to be a specialist right winger who's happy to only play when Saka's not fit or not available. It's got to be someone who gives us another option so we can get a really competent player on that right.
It's true what someone says in the chat there. Like, who was Salah's backup at Liverpool?
Well,
it was
Shaqiri, really, but not really.
Yeah.
If Salah didn't play,
different levels.
But if Salah didn't play, look at the
better than
options.
Reece Nelson.
Shaqiri could play. They had, and he did play on the right at times when they were really good. And they moved Salah up top. They could move Mane to the right, where he was fully established in that position. And then they had a Jota, they had a Diaz. They're another example of a club that have always added forwards, even though they've had some of the best about. You got to keep adding different questions. So yeah.
In defense, the cover is adequate. In the goalkeeping area, Ramsdale's not a number one, but the drop off isn't wild. On the left, Trossard for Martinelli, nice backup there. You can rotate Havertz and Jesus, none of them are good enough, but the drop off isn't wild. I'm just making the point that on the right hand side, the drop off from Saka to Nelson is you're battling for top four.
I think left and striker had now become more important than backup and for Saka, and I was saying that was one of the priorities. That's just and on the point that Lee said about who, I have to disagree. I mean, over these last 2 seasons, many wingers have moved. Listen, some have not worked, some have worked. I mean, I'd argue that Diaby wasn't too bad of a signing for Villa. I know he's moved on now, but he got some goals, he got assists. Like, he wasn't favoured towards the end of it. Then you might look at Leon Bailey, who's the one that kept him out, or Kudus, who me and James, James in particular, he's someone that I think James mentioned it. He's not necessarily coming in as a backup for Saka. He's coming in to take one of them spots in the front three. And then, he can back up Saka. Because I think Saka's position is the securest out of Saka, Havertz, Martinelli. And really, I go back to what I said before. Trossard is not a player you rely on. Jorginho, no. You bring them in, you give them the games, they cover, they do well, and that's it. We cannot look at it as Trossard's going to overtake Martinelli. He's not. And he might come in, and he did last season, but I'm talking about the future. We need to bring a left winger or striker, ideally, much more than we need to bring a backup for Saka.
And I just want to add one last thing to what Jordan was saying about Martinelli, who I've defended lots, and tried to explain where things went wrong. But there's actually a little video I'm doing that's coming out tomorrow. This pre-season, everything has been focused on making that left function. Of the 10 goals we scored, where did that goal against Bournemouth come? Nelson down the left. Muniri cuts it across to Jesus against Man United down the left. Martinelli against Man United down the left. Leverkusen first goal down the left. Jesus against Leverkusen down the left. Like, we have channeled so much of our football down there. And in last season, we were saying he was struggling, Martinelli, because he barely saw the ball. Against Lyon, he saw the ball. He had a lot of it, a lot of combinations with Rice, and he had 2 really good opportunities where he was sort of through on goal, attacking areas, and could have played in Havertz. So I say all this to say that it looks like we've changed a lot and tweaked a lot to get Martinelli back in these games and firing again. So these excuses are running out a little bit. I love him. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's going to fire this season. But I don't think the conditions for him are going to be like last season. I think they'll be much more favourable. So there is pressure to deliver. Just want to say that.
Yeah, there is. I have seen the super chats, people, but before I get them in, let's move over to predictions as we close in on an hour and a half. How many likes are we on? Because an hour and a half, if we're not at 1,000, then 700 people. I'm about to go quiet until it's going to be a moment of silence before we hit 1,000 likes. Come on. Come on. We're going to do predictions now. By the end of the last prediction, please, let's have 1,000 likes. Let me bring up the prediction table. Obviously, there's nothing on it aside from a small little update. But where are we? That's the prediction table. If you're not familiar with it, there's a little refreshment. Look at James's cheesy smile. He's got a star, people. He's got a star under his name. Jordan's the only one lacking right now, so yeah, that's why Jordan's last on the table at the moment in time. It's based off of titles won. And
it's my year. It's my year. I'm telling you, it's my year.
It's your year, yeah?
Yeah, my year, man.
Ah, cool. It's your year. But James, big up for the win last season. We still have to cover whatever you're getting or got. We will do that.
I haven't chosen the shirt. I don't love any of them. I don't
you
have
know
any
that-
kit we've released this year.
That black goalkeeper one again, it looks decent. I mean, it's plain, it's nice, it's calm. Like I think that might be one of them.
The flower logo, the cannon, the big thick collar. I think that might be the one I go for.
Yeah.
The only thing that ruins it is I think they've like used that. It's a template, and they've used that. Like Onana's goalkeeper for Man United is the same, different sponsor, different crest. So that's the only thing that slightly ruins it. But yeah,
We'll take it. Well, we move. New season, new predictions. I'm gonna go first because I've got 2 stars by my name. Well, I did, but there we go. So Wolves at home.
Hang on. Shouldn't James go first?
James is the
I'm
why?
happy. I'm happy. Please take the lead.
Well, how comes he's going second then? I've had more runners up than him.
No, but it's J and L, isn't it?
Oh.
After trophies, it goes to letters, man. Who gives a shit? So
Fair enough.
Come on, Lee.
I'll go with.
What doesn't make any sense?
What? Do you want to go first, Jordan?
No, I'm just saying.
Everyone will not predict. That's even better for us, I think, if you go first.
Yeah.
Go on. No,
No,
you
no.
go first, Jordan. Seriously.
No. I'll go last.
You need a break. No, you need a break, man. Go on.
I think they're going to win big. I think it's going to be a good win for Arsenal. I'm going 3-0.
3-0, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Lee doesn't seem.
I wasn't going 4, but I'm going 3.
3-0. Lee, let's work back.
I was going to go 3.
Are you going to? Or what?
Let's go 4. Come on, let's go big.
4-0. James?
We beat them 2-1 last season. It should have been 7. But I'm actually going to go 2-0. I don't think Arsenal will quite go through the gears. I'll just go 2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go 3-0. So, yeah, there we are. Me and Jordan have gone 3-0.
Try copying me. What's going on out here, man? You seen the light?
I don't know about that. We'll see if the light's there come Sunday's show. But yeah, we'll talk then because we are back. Well, I say Sunday, we're recording Sunday. It's a pre-record. It will be out. I've gone 3-0. Jordan's gone 3-0. James has gone 2-0. And Lee's gone with a 4-0 prediction. That's our predictions. Let's see the super chats. Michael's asking about our defensive midfield in comparison to City's, but we did get into that. And O'Malley says being unbeaten at home is a must. I agree, 100%. James says pleasure meeting you guys in Philly. James and Lisa from Toronto. Big up, man. Come on. You are our only hope on stopping City. Sometimes new signings might disrupt the dressing room. Yeah, I mean, James. Yeah, I mean, nah. I don't know about all this disrupt the dressing room stuff. You buy winners, you buy experienced players. That I think that's what we kind of need now. Even though there's not an abundance of them around, they come in and command respect because these players at our club now, we love them, but they've done nothing. Let's not forget that in the big scheme of things, when eyes are on football, they've done nothing, So I think, yeah, there's a balance to it. And big up KD saying this might be a crazy idea. Why can't we go all out this season, get the players we want, spend big, even if we get a fine or a ban? And also if City do get charged, they won't, but if they did, bonus. Well, KD, I mean, years ago, I was banging on that drum. I was saying, look around, everyone's breaking the rules, everyone's winning stuff but us. Now, I don't think we need to break the rules to win stuff. We're close. I just think we need to do what we need to do, and that's well within reason, well within our budget, well within our limits. But I was there at one point, and we should do what we need to do in the next 2 weeks. Super chat's done, predictions made, conversation, topics discussed. Don't think I've missed anything. Let's get into comments of the week. Everyone ready with their comments?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you seen so mine's from Andre Zachary? I'm sure you guys might have it anyway, but it's the one where he's given us all individual forfeits.
Yeah. I see that.
I don't mind them. I think Lee's could be better. Must co-host the Tactical Insight Show with James and Graham. Come on.
I
think we have to make him. I think he has to plan it.
Rather jump out of a plane without a parachute. Just saying.
I think we need to make him plan, host, run it. Like that's the punishment, not just rocking up to talk about Arsenal.
We'll confirm
James
that anyway ourselves.
So somebody's comment earlier on said, don't scrap the banter. Otherwise, what do you say? Otherwise, you've just then got tactical insight. I thought that was really, really harsh. I was just like, that's
actually a good comment.
it's really harsh.
Is the tactical insight back this year? Is it back? Has it been given the
Lee.
okay? That's what I like.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Good.
Yes,
You've
it
reached
hasn't been cancelled, D. It hasn't been
Season
cancelled.
3.
Season 3, well done, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe who dies in this one.
John, what are we doing?
Oh, sorry. So he says, I must learn and perform a dance with Cecil, which I think is the worst of the lot. Turkish must start Forever Arsenal show singing North London Forever. I don't know why that's such a simple punishment, but I do feel like it would be quite painful for you.
Because I'm not a singing guy, man. But yeah, it's all right, cool.
Jordan must go to the Emirates ground and sing the Kai Havertz chant walking around the stadium after the final match of the season.
I'll do that.
I think there's a good basis there, and we can
it's good
make them
starting
worse.
points. Good blocking.
Good
blocks put in place.
Yeah, cool. I think that's calm. But yeah, I think a better one for Lee. We'll think about it.
Well, I think my one's a bit harsher compared to the others. I really have to say that. Like,
it's too good. It's too nice. It's too simple. Who's next? I've got one. Let me bring it up quickly. This one's from Curtis. He said, Lee giving it the big one about skydiving, but can't even handle the teacups at Fort Park without fainting.
Bit out of order, that, like, you know what I mean? I'll see that one, bit out of order.
You know, it made me think, actually, if you did jump out of plane, how the hell would you be when you landed? You'd be
I wouldn't be great. I wouldn't be great.
Yeah, you'd be a mess.
Go on.
I've got two, like, you know what I mean? Like, Lee's and Mug had to spit out my tea. Like, that was out of order saying that.
I didn't see that.
And I've got, like, Lee's comments of the days are always something to behold. Love from South Africa.
Come on.
I love it.
Come on. Love for the love wherever you are. Jordan, are you all right?
I'm here. Sorry, my lady's getting dressed, so I'm going to turn the camera off. I've got one here.
What do you mean she's getting dressed? What's she been doing then?
She's going out. Shut up. I've got one here.
Bit late to go out this time, wasn't it?
Shut up. Nathan Field 7336 says great show. I like that comment. That was
you are starting the season on -1. I'm sorry.
No way.
You're starting the season on -1.
I think he's flustered. I think, like, you know what I mean?
Bro, you're starting the season on -1. That what did you just say? Your comment of the day is great show.
It's a good comment.
Bro, you're starting on -1.
No.
Don't make me put a poll in there. Lee, James, tell me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He's got flustered. His girlfriend's getting dressed and all.
Shut up, you.
Let him off.
Lee, come on, man. You're too nice, man.
Wow.
He's had 5 days to do this. It's not like he's had 5 seconds.
It's a good comment.
Great show.
Nathan. Respect Nathan, man. Come on. He took the time to comment on the page. It's a good comment.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, dear.
If you're not familiar with Forever Arsenal, then yeah, get familiar, people. Make sure.
There you go. Like, come on, don't be shy.
I gotta go, guys. Can we wrap it up? Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Well,
Let's wrap it up.
she's
Great
not going
show,
out
man.
now then?
Shut up, you.
On that note, people, listen, hour 38, it's been a pleasure. The time's whizzed by. We will do these a bit more consistently than we have done the prior couple seasons. But hopefully you've enjoyed season preview, predictions made, previews done for everything from top scorer to the game this weekend. Make sure you subscribe, put a notification bell on. We'll be back again real soon. We haven't even hit 1,000 likes yet, so forget love for the love. There's no love for no love today. We're out. Peace.